think it'll be okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I already hit record. Let's see. All right. The frames look fine right now, but I'm just double checking.
Okay. Also drop this in.
Okay.
Over.
Oh, thank you. I need to start actually using my server too. All right, let's go while everything is not on fire.
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I think so too. All right. Hello, everyone, to another episode of TwoBitTales, a live improvised storytelling stream. And for today's guest, I have my friend Steph, or EsfiArt. If is that how you pronounce it?
Yes,
Es-
EsfiArt. Yep.
EsfiArt. Okay, and if you want to give like a quick introduction for people who might not be familiar with you.
Well, I go by as EsfiArt or Esfi for stuff. Um, I'm a professional illustrator, and currently I'm taking a break on working on comics, but I also do that too. Um, yeah, I have this VTuber. She represents me. She's like a bird lady, but like a magician. I haven't really ironed out stuff at all, but that's fine.
We've kind of talked about stuff, kind of not.
Yeah, I'm just kind of winging it
That's
with
fine.
VTuber stuff.
With the amount of VTubers I've talked to, 95% of them are winging it.
Oh God, that's reassuring.
Because,
Because like
yeah.
usually, oh no, sorry. Like usually, like when I look at other streamers, they seem to so well put together. But again, I don't really talk to them. But
Well, maybe you're thinking of the more bigger ones.
yeah,
But even then, I know some of them are just like, yeah, everything was fire in the back. I was just trying to go like, well, I hit start stream. We can't go back now. Kind of situations.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, with this model, I made it myself. I drew it and rigged it and everything. I put a lot of work into it. I want people to look at it. So
it looks really nice.
thank you,
Yes.
thank you.
And also, you may see some of her art related to my streams in the future.
Yes, I've done some stuff with
Yes,
Alistair.
you've already seen what it looks like. So, but I'm excited to finally use it when I finally debut.
Yeah, that'd be cool. There we go.
Yes. Um, but yeah, don't worry about things being scuffed because the thing I always say to people, you're not a real VTuber unless you deal with scuff.
Oh yeah, that is the way. That is the passage, right?
Yeah, basically. And also like even though I'm a storyteller and you know the extensive, and I mean extensive amount of lore I have, not most VTubers don't think about it more than an hour.
Yeah, I understand. Like I mentioned this to Alistair before, but I am not a good writer. I actually have like a professional writer writing my comics because I'm I refuse. I'm not good. I know when I know my stuff.
You know your focuses.
I'm good at drawing. I will stick with that. Writing? Okay, no.
Well, I won't say that you one way or another, but I'll say it's like I'm sure you have good ideas. It's just maybe your worry is the execution on those ideas.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because as a writer, that's how I feel constantly, and I'm sure you feel the same way. But sometimes when you're just trying to draw a single line, and you're like, make it work.
I just live with constant anxiety. And it's just reassuring that there are people that can feel that same way.
Yep. This is the best idea for people with anxiety. Go into the creative arts where all of it is subjective and not anything is guaranteed validation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, like back in my day, man, I sound old, but like when the internet was
I
new,
was gonna say.
like a lot of like the streaming stuff is very like it wasn't really known at all. Like we just had YouTube, and then like before Twitch, there was like this website called livestream dot something.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah, but like that was long gone, and I think Twitch took over it. But
yeah.
anyways, like all of this stuff is just man, times have changed.
I thought you were gonna be like, and then I remember when we had Flash games.
I could have. I used to play those games. I used to play a lot of the Barbie Flash games.
Oh, I'm sure. Look, I'm not trying to date us, but I'm dating us with the things we're referencing.
We're old. I
Just a
don't
little.
even know how old you are, but yeah.
Uh, well, I because you mentioned live stream, I'm like, we both know what MySpace is, so therefore we're older than
Oh yeah.
the
Oh yeah.
demographic that we're trying to attract to watch our streams, essentially.
Mhm. A lot of kids nowadays don't know what the fuck, what the hell MySpace is.
Yeah, like even before that, there was like Zanga and other stuff.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Oh
yeah.
god, I forgot about that too.
Hi, Matt. Uh, let's see. So, let's see. I don't know if you want to go into more things about our lore, or if you want, we can just go straight into the prompt you gave me.
I think we can go straight into the prompt
Okay.
storytelling.
Uh,
Hi, Matt's here. Stream.
hello.
Hello. I just got off of work.
Uh, hello. Caramel coffee rat. Okay. It's a little quiet. Oh, let me raise it up then. Thank you for telling me now before we get into it. Could you speak?
Did I speak?
Oh, yeah, I can see.
Oh, I am? Am I quiet? Wait,
Yeah.
what? Oh shit.
Let me just raise up your volume in Discord and then I'll do 150 and see how that sounds. Could you speak up again?
Hello. Hi. Hi. How's that
Uh,
sound?
it's good. I'm gonna raise it slightly more so you're more matching where I'm going.
Okay.
Try it again.
Hello. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hmm.
Hello. 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 Hi. 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 I'm talking.
All right, I'm just gonna raise it up to 200 and see how that is. Okay.
I hope it's not my mic. I don't think it is.
Hmm. I well, I think mine is just I I don't think it's necessarily your mic. It's just I've lowered it in OBS slightly because other people
Mm.
are way louder.
Oh, that's funny. And
Uh,
I thought I can be loud, but I try not to be. I
uh,
actually can't be right now. I don't want to wake up my bird. They're sleeping.
yeah. I'm trying to find the right spot because sometimes you go high and then it goes way louder, and then sometimes it doesn't. So I'm just like trying to find that sweet spot.
Okay, I hear you.
Yeah. Uh,
I can talk about some nonsense right now. So like back in
okay.
my day, we used to have like Gaia Online and Neopets when Neopets wasn't bad, and when Neopets didn't have any NFTs. Because now that they do that now, which is kind of ass, but
Yeah, I saw that, and then I'm kind of like, well, let's leave it in my
I'm
past. Leave it as a memory.
yeah.
Okay.
And then
I,
is that good?
I think so.
Okay.
If not, Matt can tell us.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. Let me pull up the prompt unless you remembered and you want to just say it.
Um, I remember I told you like sad old man. Uh,
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Matt.
what was I saying? Sad old man.
Mhm.
Protecting kid. Sad old man is also gay,
Uh,
like Yakuza.
yeah, I like how I found. Do you want me to just read it? So the full thing. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
my favorite tropes in stories is sad old man adopts a kid who isn't theirs and protects them, and also sad
Yeah.
old man is gay slash bi, and his love interest is a chaotic bisexual who's neither a good or a bad guy, but rather a wild card. So the story prompt can be something like crime detective noir figuring out a strange case of a murder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as I you wrote
I,
that, I
you're
went.
like I'm writing
So I'm
Kiryu.
writing
Like
curious.
yeah.
Well, because it's like at first it was like, okay, so it's the Mandalorian or the Last of Us, and then you went to old man is gay bi and his love interest is a chaotic bisexual. I was like, okay, so it's just Yakuza then.
To,
You're
to
it.
be fair, I was also just like thinking about like Hannibal, the show. Like that's also kind of similar in a way.
I can see that, but I don't know if I mentioned it, but I don't have much familiarity from like pop culture references of those things.
Yeah, it's fine. I understand.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that would explain the crime detective part. So
Mhm.
okay, so basically I had two ideas to suggest. Um, basically one I can let me see what I wrote. Okay, I actually have a story that's mixed with a bit of horror dread, where it's a dad looking for someone his son talks about in his dreams that tells him he'll take him somewhere safe since he's stuck in the hospital. His son soon ends up in a coma, and he goes on a hunt to find this person. While there's a
Mhm.
detective who has decided to hunt down criminals, he has to start. Who has decided to hunt down criminals, he has to start thinking like them and slowly loses his sense of himself as he understands them better and starts to pick up their habits. Uh,
Yeah.
and then you said so I could just combine those together and make them lovers, both trying to find a way to save their son.
Mhm. Like
Um,
that entire premise that you like wrote out, I was just like, yeah, that kind of reminds me a lot of like we've seen Hannibal, which I love.
yeah,
It's good. So
yeah. You gave the double chef's fingers like kiss essentially of like,
the chef kiss hands.
yeah. It's like I'm being fed today. I was like, okay, well,
Mhm.
I'm hitting the
Mhm.
demographic then.
Like Matt and like anyone like who has dropped by here and stream that knows me, they will know that oh yeah, you of course you're gonna like ask for like a sad old man gay love story of tragedy and stuff. Like that's just how I am.
Is that what I'm gonna expect? It well, is that for those also? I was like, is that also gonna come up in your comics? Maybe.
Uh, I mean, we're cooking something for sure. So yes.
Let her
I
cook.
even
Let her
told
cook.
I told my brother like okay, hear me out. But what if we did like something like this? And he's like, you know what? Let's do it. I'm excited to have that like be shown for readers.
Yeah, you'll be fine in the VTubing space. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yay!
Just everyone, just like, what if we make them kiss though?
I know.
Some of you need to chill, but also live your life.
Hmm.
Um, so that was
I
my
know what I'm
first.
about. I know what I'm about.
Yeah, live your life. Um, so the other one was like, all right, what if we just lead into the other premise of just like, let's just make it some kind of gangster, yakuza mafia kind of thing, where it's like, um, maybe not like the Godfather or the Chairman type, but like or someone very high up. But because they're gay, they've never had an heir, and
Hmm.
one of their confidants or like their trusted like captains is the maniac who uh
The chaotic one.
the chaotic one, yes, who happens to pick up a kid one of those times, and the old man takes a liking to the kid and like decides to take care of him and um informally adopt them, and then it becomes where that's the expectation of who will advance, and then that causes drama within the family because
Ooh,
who is this no name brat
no
um
name brat.
ruining it for the rest of the hierarchy.
I like that. I dig it.
Yeah.
With something like that, I can totally see them like giving the no name brat like some kind of like nickname, like I don't know, trash bag or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I assume if we do that story, they're all gonna have like code names or nicknames, kind of a thing, or
Little rodent.
yeah. There was a name that I sometimes use. I there was a story that I had where they didn't know what to name them, but they just kept
Mhm.
referring to him as like they're just a kid, leave them alone. And then that got turned into the acronym JAK, just a kid. So they just started calling
Cute.
him Jack.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I like that.
So yeah, you could go through two sides of the same coin of either it is um detectives or uh mafia family members.
I think it would have more higher stakes if it's like a family mafia kid.
Okay. All right. Um, let's go through that then. Uh, and I'm just gonna pick some wild name, or not wild names, but just random names off the top of my head. But also feel free to jump in and give suggestions to better
Of
suit your
course,
taste.
of course, of course.
Just open up your fan fiction names and then just tell me which ones you want.
I got that on dial. Don't worry.
Well, I know. That's why I said it. I know who my audience is. I know you have names. I know you have specific, like, all right, what are the tags?
Yeah,
People always feel like I call them out. I'm just like, look, I know what this audience is. I'm not.
I know what you are.
I'm surrounded by all of you. You're act surprised, but all of you specifically have the same interests. There's also unintentionally, this is how I gather the certain audience, and I act surprised for some reason.
I mean, it's not that surprising, but it is reassuring to know like there's a lot of people that just enjoy similar stuff as I do.
Uh, like bunny.
Oh yeah, I love bunny girls.
Yep. There's a everyone's like bunny, therefore Vieira. I'm like, not quite, but okay.
Not quite. Have you gotten comments like that?
Every time.
Oh shit.
Uh,
Damn.
every
Well,
time. Well, screw it. Since we mentioned fan fiction and interests, just to get my name out there, I've joined like Smasher passes. Um,
mhm.
and every time they see me, they're like, ah, he's definitely played 16 or 14. And I was like,
14.
I corrected myself. Um, 14. And I was like, nope. Also, this design was designed before male Vieiras came out.
Yeah. I remember.
Uh, and then it doesn't help that also because I have a ice foot, everyone thinks it's Crystal, and then think, oh, uh,
The the
Gira.
crystal exarch, yeah, the little cat boy.
Yeah, so I'm just like, nope, nope. This was all mine, but okay.
I mean, on the bright side, if you ever did play Final Fantasy 14, you could finally say like, well, this is not a Vieira, but he's inspired off of it, you know.
Well, I was gonna do the joking sponsored, not sponsored kind of thing,
Oh.
because everyone's just gonna see bunny ears and go, ah, Vieira, especially with my full body model.
Mhm.
But yeah. Quick tangent, and we'll get back to the story. For some reason, when I think of mafia or something, or crime families, it's like old. I don't want to say old fashioned names, but like those names you hear a lot, like James or something, or
Mhm.
Charlie, and then they get changed to like Jim or something, or Chuck, or and then you like you said the nicknames kind of thing before.
Mhm.
Um,
I think Chuck's is a good name.
okay. Do you want that for a specific one or
It could be like the one of the mafia, the main mafia guy.
main mafia guy? Okay. Oh, hey, and yes, it is your favorite interdimensional rabbit man. I'm assuming this is Gandiva, but it might be Silas. Hi. They were my guests
Hello.
from Monday.
Hell yeah.
Both. Okay, perfect. Uh, yes. So right now I'm telling a story about a mafia family with a gay leader and his bisexual uh, captain uh, who is chaotic,
Yeah.
and they have an adopted son. And this sounds like a saucy time. Yes, very much. Okay, so all right, so Charles or Chuck to people he feels comfortable with, and then um, I'm gonna throw out names, and then just tell me when one pleases your ears, or if you have something in mind.
For which character?
Well, you said the main one would be the, I guess, the cat
Chuck.
Chuck, and then this
Yep.
one's for the the chaotic bisexual.
All right. Let's see.
Uh,
Let's see what you got.
oh, I'm just pulling them out right now. William Thomas, uh,
Mm,
Alexander, Butch. I don't know. Um,
Bush.
let's see, Jack,
How,
because
how,
there's already Jack.
how,
Uh,
how about Francis? How about that?
Francis. All right,
Mm-hmm.
I'm down. You're gonna also
That's a
prep.
good name.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good name, Francis.
Yeah, I can see
Francis and Chuck.
Francis and Chuck, the gay lovers.
Good for
Uh,
them.
do you want them to be open about it, or is it more of a secret thing?
You know what? I think it has more of a intense drama if it was like a secret thing,
Okay.
especially with like their son.
Okay. Perfect. Uh oh, okay. So now we're gonna go into the secret thing. Then we get to doing the spicy stuff of like Francis giving private reports, and for some reason he
Hell yeah.
doesn't leave until the next day.
That's what I'm talking about.
Also, when you said old, how old is he? Were you
I don't
hoping?
know, maybe like 40s or 50s.
Okay.
I was thinking 40s at least.
Okay, because old could mean a lot of things, but also because I know what you're referencing, it's like he 40s or 50s, not like 70s old.
No,
Okay, just making sure.
not like grandpa old. No,
You want zaddy, not granddaddy.
exactly.
My audience.
Hey, at least you know what the audience wants. So
Yep. Okay. Um, let's see. And we're gonna start with, I guess, the introduction of them, where we first see. I also assume you want Chuck to be more of that heart of gold kind of thing, even though he's in a fucked up business.
um,
Or do you want him to be more um because one of the ideas I did have is maybe he follows the family's rules because he's like old school kind of a thing, and that's also more
mhm,
of the reason why it's a secret. Is, for one thing, it's dating within the family, and then also it's a gay relationship.
mhm. I kind of see him more like serious. Um, not the type of guy that would just like yeah he would have a heart of gold, but like people have a different impression of him. They think like he's just scary and he's not nice, but he actually is.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant by the curious thing of like heart of gold thing.
Mhm,
Is like he has strong values, and he'll be the thing of like, look, we're gonna do some dirty work, but also um we're not gonna just hurt innocent people for the sake of hurting them, kind of a thing.
mhm.
um that's kind of what I meant by heart of gold. Or like uh maybe um after the dirty work, this is also thinking of Yakuza, for he has an orphanage kind of a thing, or like he donates. It's both a front to like seem good for the community, but also he does genuinely want to fix some of the damages he's done.
Yeah. Well, I could see him like donating to charity to
Okay.
like events or stuff that's happened
Okay, so maybe it's
that his gang
the,
caused or something. You
yeah,
know.
his gang cause, but then it's kind of more of a, he gives the money but he doesn't make appearances, so it kind of feels like he's standoffish kind of a thing, or like people don't
Mhm.
want to talk to him for too long because they feel like they don't want to get in his way, and it kind of reinforces that stereotype, I guess, or the tension.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, and also probably because they know who Francis is and that they're associated.
Mhm.
Uh,
Wait,
and
he's there. He's with that guy. That's crazy, right? Oh
yeah.
boy, don't mess with him.
Uh, he just holds that knife around and swings it.
he just says some really crazy stuff sometimes, you know? Some stuff that's a little like just crazy. I don't know.
Uh, let's he must be a badass if he's able to keep that guy on a leash. And then fast forward to the night later, where there is a leash involved.
Good for them. Good for them.
uh, the only one who can tame the mad dog.
Yeah. It's funny because it's like you're kind of almost like writing like another version of Kiri and Majima, but it's not. But you know,
Yeah, not quite, but I'm kind of leaning more into he is actually uh the mafia thing where because I'm sure you already know about the thing of like Kiryu has never killed anyone. Ignore gameplay.
yeah, yeah, I've heard, I've seen.
Have you played Yakuza then, or just
Oh, I have. I played all the games.
okay? The way you said it is like I've seen. It made me go, did you just watch it then? I wasn't sure.
No,
Okay,
no,
okay.
I played all of them. Probably
Uh,
a little too much.
yeah. So like we can still deviate more from Yakuza. It's just this is the template I'm coming up with, just because the prompt is making it very leaning towards those kind of things.
Mhm.
But we're changing it up. So instead of Haruka, there's a Jack.
Mhm.
Um, and
You,
hmm?
you know what we could do? What we could do that could be a little bit different is have like the main guy, so Chuck, be
Mhm.
like the detective who's investigating Francis, who's been involved in some kind of like strange, I don't know, like some cases or whatever, and then like we could say something like Francis adopted this kid that like his family, like his mafia family killed, right?
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah. If you want to change it up a little, I'm down for that.
Yeah,
Um, are they still lovers in this case, or is that going to be the build up in the story?
it's gonna be the build up. Let's make it the
Okay.
build up.
Okay.
Enemies to lovers. That's a top notch trope.
All right. There's the chef fingers are appearing again. I can see it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. And in okay, so in this case, I guess in a way, do in this version, do you want it that Chuck and Francis already know each other, or maybe one side knows the other, kind of a thing, and like,
I, how about like one side knows the other?
okay,
Like let's say like Chuck knows about all about Francis because like who wouldn't? Like he's like the big part of like a big mafia gang causing all this ruckus and everything. Like of course like a cop detective would know like, you know.
right, right. Because I'm also thinking that maybe Chuck is also realizing that Jack might be the missing child for something that
Oh.
after the parents were killed, kind of a thing, and it's just
Mhm.
now that but they didn't piece it together because that was years ago, kind of a thing.
Mhm.
And then maybe we could get into very messy things of like Jack identifies more with his new adopted father who killed his parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
That's sad. I love tragedy.
it's why I suggested it. Um, and then it becomes the the thing of like I mentioned before of like Chuck's focus becomes a fascination, and um he gets
He
it.
starts understanding like
Yeah.
what. Yeah.
uh at first wanting to protect the child, but realizing that um trying to let even what's it called, he can't quote unquote free the child because also he's stuck in Francis's web, and he can't, or he doesn't want to get out, even though he tells himself that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean something I can see it like So they obviously have a toxic relationship. That's what we want to go for because that shit slaps. Or like it slaps in the terms of fiction, but
Yeah.
um we can have it be like a tragic, sad story with a bittersweet ending where it's just like, well, the lovers didn't really work out, but at least they're kind of out of like a tough situation.
Yeah. Well, what I'm kind of thinking right now is that also the trope of the toxic thing where um because what's it called, Chuck has been so obsessed with work and focusing on all this stuff, he's never had a uh, real personal life. And then seeing
Uh,
Francis fascinates him because he's let loose, and he's doing all the things that Chuck wishes he could have done. Um, and then he starts to imagine him not just doing those kind of things, but doing it with Francis.
I love that. Because that in a way reminds me of I don't know if you've seen our flag means death, but that has actually like a similar thing going on with that, where it's just like, well, this guy lives his life like this, and he's all about that, and I wish I was like that, and like the same character's like, wow, I wish I was like this guy. He's so cool. He's really he can speak his mind, blah blah blah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, like with the way that you want to go with the story is kind of like, okay, so this workaholic that knows nothing but work starts getting fascinated with like this guy that he's like tracking down, and with this guy, he's like, I guess we could say like he's intrigued with like the detective in a way because he's just like, well, he's all like a perfect guy. He does his job well. He's known and loved by the whole town. I could ruin him. That kind of mentality.
Uh, okay, so you want Francis to be like, you definitely want to lean into the toxic part. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
I got it, I got it. Because at first I was gonna say it's like, oh, he can protect Jack because even as chaotic as Francis is, he also knows that um maybe part of the chaotic part is just coming from he knows how quick people can come and go in his line of work.
yeah, yeah.
But also, and then having Chuck be on his side would mean um a better, like an inside man kind of thing, or like um
Mm,
or
Well,
hmm?
more like, you know what? It could be more like having him on his side. Well, obviously, like yeah, he would know the inside of like what like the cops are doing, but also it's just like I guess in a way it's we can say like he's just like also personally interested in Chuck, just having him around.
Okay. Hmm.
These are some messy guys for real.
You don't say. Because I was the way it sounds like you're wanting to go is the way the vibe I'm getting is you want it to be a thing of like um Francis is being a tempt. I don't know if there's a masculine way of saying temptress, but you know what I mean by that.
Mm-hmm.
And him like
Tempter.
yeah, see, let's just say temptress. Screw it. He's a chaotic bisexual.
Yeah, it fits with him.
Being a temptress is like, don't you want to go wild sometimes? Um,
Aren't you tired of being nice? Don't you just want to go ape shit sometimes?
yep, you know the
Basically, it's
meme.
like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And getting that even for a moment release. Uh, and yes, I'm gonna use all the innuendos and euphemisms I can. Um,
Wow.
for
Real yaoi. Real yaoi here.
all we're missing are the giant hands.
Oh boy, that's just the cherry on top out of everything.
Well, you can draw this later, and you.
Yaoi hands, yeah.
Uh, um, what's it called? Going ape shit, and then once he like clears his head, he it's that kind of thing where he knows he shouldn't, but he wants that feeling again, so he keeps coming back to him.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, because he wants to keep having that feeling. He doesn't want Francis to get caught or anything. So
Mhm.
even without Francis prompting, he starts to like tamper with things to make it where
Oh, he
for
starts lying. Is
yeah,
that what?
lying or like tampering with evidence or like crime
Mm.
scenes,
Mhm.
so it can't be traced back at least directly to Francis. And uh, in a way, uh, he does he it's that thing where it's how should I put it? He was gonna be like, "Oh, I did this for you," kind of a thing, and like
Mhm.
Francis kind of just laughs it off, and he knows he has a plaything, but he's
Mhm.
enjoying it, so he's letting it happen still.
Mhm.
Um,
Well then, okay, so there's one thing then. Then what stakes does a kid have in all this? He's got to be important too.
yeah, he has to be important. I guess the way I was thinking of it is Jack, in this whole situation, uh, he is a reflection of the two influences who are around him most, kind of a thing.
Mhm.
Um, and
I
hmm,
mean, makes sense. He is a kid born and raised with the crime life.
yeah. So I'm kind of like, how tragic do we want to get? Because I'm already thinking of like
You know
one
what'd
of
be
them
good?
is gonna be dead.
Oh, that's sad. I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, I was thinking, okay, you know what? Like Chuck knows that this kid is in the bad spot, and they're all involved in like a very like bad place. So he's in conflict with himself, where he's just like, I want to know more about Francis, but I also want to help this kid out because he's kind of not living a good life a child should live, right?
Right.
So it's just like a constant tug of war of him just like, okay, I want to help this kid and like put all these people behind bars.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so just like, what if I don't want to do that? What if I just like give up my job and just, go with them? It's like a constant like back and forth basically. Like, oh,
Right. Well, because the thing I was wondering, because you said you want Jack to be like also a focus or like a primary character, so I'm just trying to think of like right now we're treating him more as uh a focus, like an object that they're both kind of like vying for in a sense.
mm-hmm.
Um, but because I was thinking more of it sounds like you're not as interested in it, but the tragic thing of like one of them dying, it's by Jack's hands. Like
Oh,
things escalate to a point where um either the gang is gonna kill like fight like basically take out the police, or the police are gonna try and take out the gang.
mm-hmm.
Um, and it's escalating where the two of them are like being the figureheads essentially, or the leaders of like it happening, and then Jack, to like put an end to it, has to choose, like he's thinking he has to like kill one of them before it escalates even further.
Mm-hmm. Would would that technically be like, I don't know if you call that misunderstanding, although that would be very tragic if it was. Okay, you know what? I don't want to be bummed out. How about
Okay, so we're not gonna do the tragic ending, got it.
no, not too tragic. No, I don't want to be that bummed
Toxic.
out. Just a little bit toxic, but
Maybe
you
one of
know
them loses
what?
their job and they're all on the runaway, but you know.
Okay, that is good. Okay, that we can go with. Cuz
Okay.
while I do love like tragic stories, sad stories, I also like when they add like a bittersweetness to it. Like, okay, you know what? Well, that didn't work out, but at least they still got this.
Okay, I have an idea. Um, what if it is in sense kind of a tragic thing, but we think that Jack is picking up the tendencies of Francis, and it
Oh
looks
yeah.
like he's trying to take over, but then it's
Mhm.
revealed last second at the end that Francis also grows tired of the life.
Mhm.
So their deaths both get faked with uh by Jack, and also Chuck's experience with like crime scenes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that works out.
So it's that thing where Jack has to take over, but he can no longer be with his parents.
Hmm. We could have that, or we could have something like Jack. Hmm. Not sure with Jack, honestly.
Okay. Also, I guess maybe let's decide on the age of Jack, so we're not trying to. We might be thinking on different things because you did say a kid
Mm-hmm.
adopts a kid, but I don't know if this is like in the past of the prompt you gave, or it's more of we're talking about like no, this is like a 5 to 10 year old.
Yeah, like a 10-year-old.
Okay. Okay, so maybe he doesn't necessarily take over the family this soon, unless we're
No.
telling a story that arcs over years.
Mm-hmm. Which I think you can do like a maybe a bit of a time skip at some point near the end. It's just like, oh yeah, well this
Yeah,
happened and
when wrapping things up.
mm-hmm.
Okay, well, how about let's see. I guess the way I'm gonna think of um Jack is maybe Francis at first he looks at like maybe I can get information through Jack, and then that's also when he starts learning more about Francis and seeing maybe a softer side,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not just the person who needs to be put behind bars.
Yeah, that's good.
And
We can say like the softer side is just like, okay, he cares for Jack. Uh, anyone who tries to like hurt him or like mess with Jack, like Francis would just like, do his usual like thing.
yeah, and maybe at this point Jack doesn't he's not fully aware of all maybe Jack is smart enough he knows that he Francis does things but he doesn't know to the extent, and
Mm-hmm.
he still but he also knows that Francis takes good care of him.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there's also that knowledge of that Chuck realizes the who Jack really is, and then has that
Mm-hmm.
moral dilemma of telling him of Francis killed his parents, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then maybe there might be a thing of like, I don't care, he's my dad, kind of a thing.
Being protective of him
Yeah,
in a way. Yeah.
and also having more Yakuza influence.
I mean, in a way, it makes sense too because, like, if he knows that Francis looks out for him, he would also want to look out for, you know, Francis. So,
Yeah. Uh.
so the gist of it so far of the prompt of the story is that we have Chuck, who's our detective, investigating a mafia, uh, where he falls in love with the head leader, right?
Yes.
Who is Francis. Francis adopts Jack. Um, uh what do you want to say like with Jack, like he lost his parents, or like how did he end up there basically? I
Okay.
don't know.
I wasn't sure how much we want to get into their backstories.
It, we don't have to get too much in detail, but like just like, okay, why is this kid here? Why is this mafia guy adopted him? You
Oh,
know?
I thought you meant Francis, like why he joined the mafia, kind of thing.
Oh no. I we can leave that as like implied, like okay, maybe he had like he was part of a family that was already like um you know doing this for years, generations even.
Uh, the way I kind of imagine it, if he's, I don't know why, but I always assume the chaotic ones are always like the hitmen of a family. Um,
Mhm.
and I kind of just had it in my mind that maybe uh whoever was the leader made him do a hit on a family who had a debt to pay, and
Mhm.
because they couldn't pay it, they paid with their lives. Um,
And you think that he would claim like his right as a leader through that, or something like that?
oh wait, as him becoming the leader, or
Mhm.
oh, I thought we are talking about how he got Jack.
Oh, okay. I mixed it up. My bad.
It's okay. We're figuring it out now before we start going into like all the little
Detail.
moments. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I guess the question is, would you want it to be where he knows, or the family knows about the child, or maybe he was raising him in secret?
Um, I I think it would be more like, because I see it more with like, how do I say this? Like he could be raising this kid, but like there's somebody's gonna eventually know that he's got like a secret because he's
Yeah.
like a big leader. So we can have it in a way where it's just like they know this kid. They took it from, man, I don't know. I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
Um, yeah, because eventually they will know. I'm just saying, like, does the family know that the kid is from that one hit kind of a thing, or is it just like
They should.
maybe
They should know.
they
They
should know?
should know.
Okay, because
They
the
should know.
the way I was thinking is he could also just say like, oh, turns out like that one, quote unquote broad I slept with one time. Apparently she had a kid and
Mm-hmm.
she left him with me and like look, I'm a murderer, but I'm not gonna murder just a baby kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's like his cover up story kind of a thing. And it only becomes
Mm-hmm.
obvious later that they're not actually related because Jack, as he grows up, they're like, I don't see the resemblance kind of a thing.
You know what? What if like Jack is like the son of like the town's
Francis's
mayor or
urchin.
something?
Oh, okay. You want that? Well, I was gonna say, Jack is actually the son of Chuck's brother,
Oh wow, that's a plot twist.
and the whole reason is Chuck wants. He's like investigating is because Chuck knows Francis killed his brother,
Oh,
but
okay.
at the same
Okay.
time, he wants to catch him, but also he falls in love with him.
Let's go. Okay, yeah, it's got plot twists, it's got gay saddled man, it's got, yeah, let's go. I'm ready.
So then it becomes more of a thing of like he realizes this is also more of like when he realizes that that's why he wants to protect Jack also.
That definitely adds more to it and like a valid reason why he would want to like help this kid out, you know.
Mm. Uh, because and then if the three of them start hanging out, they start making comments about how Jack looks more like Chuck than Francis because it is uncle nephew.
That is true. That's funny. That is true.
This is so
Okay.
messy,
Yeah. Well, you
messy in
can't have
the drama.
sa- saddle. You can't have saddled man without them being messy. So.
I guess this does also lead into the sad part because his brother's dead.
Mhm.
Uh, and maybe he was even hoping that his like family's like lineage would continue through his brother, but now with him gone, it's like, oh, this is all I have. The family has left.
Mhm. They don't know that they actually do have like a little like kid to carry on the lineage. Who knows?
Wow, this is a lot to unpack already.
I mean, in a way, we can have it be tragic like this, but also we can keep it lighthearted. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, again, this is going to basically be like Yakuza, where it's like the big eventful moments is like people screaming, and then later it's like wacky adventures with a child.
They go on like a picnic date and like shit happens, but it's all goofy and it's okay because they're happy for a moment.
They're trying to like do something, but then like the Chuck's coworkers are trying to ready up a sting, and he's like trying to shoo them away. It's like no, 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 don't ruin it.
Yeah, yeah, that can work.
Okay.
What if
Uh,
like they were trying to throw like a birthday party for Jack and it's just like they want to make it special, but they also don't want like nothing to ruin it. So little do they know something did ruin it. Like you know, like you said, like his coworkers. ruining the steak of it or whatever.
Hmm. It's because the way I was thinking of it is Francis is scaring like Jack's classmates to go to the birthday party. Um,
Yeah,
we
threatens the classmates and the parents, like, if you don't go, I'll kill you, your family.
Meanwhile Chuck is like, look, I know we're trying to do a sting operation, but also can we not ruin a child's birthday party kind of a thing, and not
Mm-hmm.
realizing that all the parents and children look terrified.
Mm-hmm. It would be funny if they like Francis got one of his like goons to be like play the clown or something, or some like animal, some like animal
Mascot.
costume mascot. Mm-hmm.
It's your favorite serial mascot, I guess. I don't know. Because you said
Or
animal.
superhero
Superhero,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
Aren't you a little fat to be him? As he pokes him in the stomach, he's like, listen here, kid.
I don't get paid for that. Don't ask me questions.
Uh and then you get the guy in the costume like can feel the gun on his back. It's like, actually, yeah. Look, it's look, I'm having an off day, okay?
I love goofy moments like that.
Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna mix the drama with some more comedic moments of slice of life, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And okay. So maybe what I'm thinking is like it's starting out where um oh, if we want to make it even more tropey and maybe Francis is also getting close to retirement kind of a thing,
Oh.
and people
Oh
are kind
yeah.
of like saying like, look, you've been part of the force practically since the moment you could, and like we're happy that you're trying to keep cracking cases and all that, but you're about to hit retirement, just take it easy. And he's like, no, I have
Mm-mm.
one final case to like settle, and it's the like figuring out who killed his brother kind of, and step
Step
or
down from his job after he
yeah,
figures out and puts the guy behind bars.
basically.
Yeah. Yeah. We can go with that. It's good.
um yeah, and so then it's like him going through the records and like piecing it together and realizing that maybe he doesn't know it was Francis in particular, but he knows it was that family, and he's trying to like narrow it down kind of a thing.
What if like the brother, like Chuck's brother, was like stuck in debt of like whatever, and like the reason why he like got murdered was because like the family was like, all right, you couldn't pay your due, so you're gone, you're dead.
Okay, yeah.
Which ties in with like Chuck being like, okay, these guys, somebody killed them. I don't know who it is, but
My brother wanted to keep the secrets, but then it turns out uh he owed money, and maybe there's also like a calling card from the family, so
mm-hmm.
other people know, like as a warning to anyone else.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
hmm.
mean, would they threaten like other people? I think they could just like already have it be shown like, okay, if you don't pay your dues, you're gonna be like this guy. You don't have
Well,
to do any more than that.
yeah. Okay. Well, so we're already establishing that people know it was them who did it.
Yeah.
Okay, because the reason I guess I'm kind of wondering about that, for any situation is, uh, why or how come the cops haven't stepped in more then?
What if they're paying the cops to
But,
not like silence them,
mm,
and Chuck doesn't know until like recently he's like, oh, they're paying them to be silent about a lot of things, not just like his brother's death. Like that could be like an aspect of like, okay, that's a little bit dark, that's a little bit tragic, but you know,
yeah, we could do that. Maybe they both of them still continue to rise up because the two of them help each other.
mm-hmm.
Instead of retiring, he becomes like the head of the department now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he becomes the commissioner, I guess. If you
I mean,
want to, hmm?
he could be the commissioner, but also he could just like step down after like knowing like getting closer to Francis. He'd be like, you know what, I could just quit my job and just live my life normally. You know,
You think he
whatever.
would quit being like I could live a normal life, even though he's intertwined with
Well, you know what I mean. Like, not normally. He obviously needs therapy, but
yeah. I'm just saying that him stepping down isn't going to step away from the crime is what I'm saying. If we're making them gay
mm.
lovers is what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, I get what you mean.
Because it's like I understand what you're saying is like I can step away and then step right back into it on the other side.
Nah, nah, nah. Let's make him a commissioner, and like there's always that thing where it's just like he knows about Francis, and he knows like the truth behind like what happened with like his brother and Jack and everything. Like, and we can say like his main goal is just trying to get the kid uh live a normal life. We could say that or something like that. While also while also just like trying to cover up for Francis and his family.
Okay. Like in his past he worked for investigations and forensics or something, and then now he became commissioner by his older age.
Mm-hmm. He's got a lot of experience under his belt.
Okay, we can do that.
All right.
Uh, but yeah, but I assume we're still gonna go with the like he was going to retire kind of like angle.
He was gonna, yeah, until
But
his brother died.
yeah, but we'll say that was like a couple years back, kind of a thing. Uh,
Okay.
well, just because of the kid thing, like if we're, because I imagine he took in Jack at a young enough age where he doesn't remember he losing his
Like what
parents.
happened to his family?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because like
that makes sense.
it's gonna be pretty traumatic if he's like he's my new dad. I also watched as he
Mm-hmm.
put hundreds of bullets in my parents.
That is true. Yeah. Just make him young enough where they got him, and then like years pass by where it's just like, okay, I think he's my dad. I think, even though he doesn't look like me, and I don't know where my mom is.
Yeah, these other people keep passing like stay for the night, but I don't think they're my mom or my other dad.
He just says that a lot of them are like, one of them is my mom. They could be my mom, but I don't know.
He's some no. uh, this is definitely the influences wear it on its sleeve.
It's
Okay.
the Fujoshi life.
Uh, I I learned about Uke and Seme because of some Fujoshi who was just
But man, that's an old term. What the fuck?
this is also dating
Ooh,
myself,
we
okay?
nowadays just people call them tops and bottoms. But
Yeah.
Sammy and Uke, that's oh man.
Yeah, well it's because they were into Hetalia, okay?
Oh, that yeah, that explains a lot.
And their pairing was UK and US. And
Yeah,
I
that was a pretty popular one.
well yeah, but also I only remember it because UK is Uke.
Yeah.
And that's just
Uh,
living rent free in my brain for the rest of my life and I can't get rid of it.
yeah. UK do be the bottom.
uh meanwhile uh US is being a himbo.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
It makes
I
sense,
guess.
but it's just like uh
I
the
haven't seen that anime in so long either. It takes me back.
again dating ourselves. Um but also this is my friend who this is the friend that also is a reason I have this idea for storytelling things is because sometimes
Mm.
they were just like, hey, I'm bored, so why is this pairing, why is this a thing? And I'm like, I don't do fan fiction, why are you asking? He's like, well, you're a writer, right? And then even if I don't want to think about it, I start thinking, well, it's like, well, all right, well, how do I get here from there? And I'm like, well, this is probably the trope they're trying to like focus on. And they're like, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, or they're like, "Hey, I'm bored. Tell me a story," and I'm like, "What do you want me to write about?" And they're like, this, that, this, that. I was like, okay, fine. I don't have anything else to do."
That's good. I'll start somewhere.
Yeah. Um. Anyways, back to the plot from the tangent. Um. Okay, so again, I just imagine like the beginning of it is um showing the two of them in their different lives, because I'm kind of imagining it as like a TV show or like a movie kind of drama.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where first we focus on Chuck and his like daily responsibilities, but also showing he's still like holding on to the fact that he could never catch his brother's killer, and I guess his brother's wife's killer, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, ooh, maybe Chuck doesn't even know about uh his nephew, because uh there was that distance between him and his brother, because his brother knew he didn't want his brother to get involved, because he knew since he was dealing with like the gang mafia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he, so it was such a secret that he never knew that his wife even gave birth, kind of a thing.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because like his brother is a cop and he's doing some kind of criminal stuff and kind of like I would say he cares about his family, his brother, so that would probably make him feel shame in a way.
Yeah, exactly. uh and then going from there, as we see him like going through the records, and like maybe it's that thing of like it's the records are always open because he and he's because he's never closed, and he's always like reviewing it, like trying to find that one thing to like find who the killer was.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get a different scene where we see Francis and Jack walking together, and it kind of feels like a very like different tonal shift,
Mm-hmm.
where it seems like they're having a great time and smiling, and like maybe what's happening is we're seeing it where they're having a great time at, like, let's say a park or a theme park kind of a thing, and then as they're walking away from whatever they're doing and having a great time, his lackeys are kind of like telling them to like put on a good show for them, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
uh and the like the illusion of everything being fun is like slowly like deteriorating. um
That's good. That's good.
okay, good. And maybe, sorry, I heard a car alarm in my background, so I wasn't sure if it was picking up.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
um and then we kind of go, and then we go through like moments of like Jack going like, "Hey dad, is everything okay?" And he's like, "Of course." And then kind of, I assume we want Francis to be a little unhinged if he's chaotic.
A little bit. We can say, you know what? Maybe
Like,
when he was younger, he was like way more like, I don't know, kooky, but like when he adopted this kid, he just like a little bit toned down that, or at least like
so
around him.
yeah. Okay, so he, and maybe that's why also we don't see like the violence and stuff. Like maybe like someone gets shot off camera, kind of a thing, as they're walking away, but it's covered up with like the loud sounds of the park,
Mm-hmm.
kind of a thing. And then like, yeah, he's covering it up with the other things around them instead. Uh, so there's the things of like, but Jack is now finally getting older and kind of like starting to notice things seem off. As like, "Hey dad, why does everyone seem scared when like you're around? I don't know, like, what's going on," kind of a thing.
Oh,
um
so Jack wouldn't really know that his own dad is the crime guy.
yeah, maybe it's kind of like he's sheltered, or um no one has said it yet, because either people assume he already knows, or um they've been threatened to be like, "Hey, treat him right, and if anything seems off, you'll be off," kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Because we could go with that route and say something like, okay, well, Francis wanted to give Jack a normal life,
Yeah.
somewhat. So,
Ooh. Um, if we're also doing that, maybe that's also related to Francis. Is like he never had a quote unquote a normal life.
yeah. Oh, that adds to the bit of the sadness, tragedy to that.
Like he had to fend for himself, so that's also why he was a bit more unhinged and chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
Because he did
He had to
whatever to
survive the
survive.
streets. He had to survive the streets, whatever he had to do.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. All right. So we're going down like a good path of backstory also, and then we from going from there, um, maybe we can do that thing in like some shows is where when we kind of see that Francis is kind of like uh maybe like they're in like a house of mirrors kind of a situation or like one like seeing the mirrors and we can edit, there's like a split second where when he's like has his hands on Jack instead of seeing Jack he sees like a younger version of himself and that's like also
Mm-hmm.
why he's trying to be like no I'm going to give you the best life you know you don't
Mm-hmm.
have to worry about anything and you can just be happy kind of a thing.
Yeah. Kind of just like denying, or not denying, but just like covering up the stuff.
Yeah, and like the illusion gets broken when Jack starts speaking, and
Questioning things like, okay, why is this?
right, right. Sorry, I'm gonna.
Oh, good. Well, this whole time we were like figuring out stuff. I was drawing Chuck. So let me. Where do I drop this?
I guess you could just drop it in Discord, and then I'll drop it into OBS.
All right.
Okay, you have something?
Yeah, just quick doodle.
Okay, cool. And then I'll also post it on Twitter if you want.
Which channel should I drop it on? Creative Art
Sure if you
or
want, or just send it to me directly and to my
I'll
direct
send
message.
it to you directly.
Okay.
Here.
Ooh, this is
I'll
not
show
what
it
I.
after the stream.
Yeah, I'm saving it and then posting it.
We can say he's like a ginger hair. Actually, hold on. I can slap some colors on this real quick. But
Okay.
yeah, we can keep going.
Okay. I'm gonna keep talking, but also my brain's gonna be trying to upload this. All right, Chuck. And then browse as I talk out loud. Because where did I save this? Where did I save this?
Uh-oh.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I can figure it out. Oh, it's in my downloads. Okay. Is it? Why isn't not showing up there in my downloads then? Come on. Uh,
I can send it again.
no, no, no. It's fine. It's just I'll just have to save it again and make sure I know where I saved it. Okay. It. Oh wait, hold on.
Hold on. I'll send you the colored version soon. So you can have another one saved.
Okay, well, just let me know. Oh, I think it's because I didn't save in the right format.
Ah,
Wait, why does it not show as a?
should be a PNG. Well, the one I sent you. Or actually, is it?
It's
Hold on.
well because I think it's through Discord. It gave me as a JPEG, but I Yeah, it
The
should.
tech, the technical difficulties.
Come on. I don't know why it's not showing. That's it. Because I saved it and I was like, yeah, it's in downloads.
It's
And when
weird.
I look at it, hmm, sorry about this. But yeah, if you want, well, I'm trying to figure this out. You can just keep talking and then I'll respond. And sort of that might be a little easier for me.
All right.
It's saving it as a JFIF file.
JIF file. That's weird.
Yeah, and I can't change it. That's why I'm not sure why.
How about this? Let me send you this one real quick.
Okay.
Because it could just be like how I sent it to you too. And oh yeah, but I was thinking so something like something like what Francis could do is like call Chuck like by a nickname. He never refers to him as Chuck, just to tease him, because I want him to be chaotic. So obviously he's gonna be like calling him names like, oh hi Chucky, oh
Oh
Chucky
my god.
Chucky Chucky Charles or something like that. He never calls him by his name. We can have that as a bit. He never calls him Chuck.
Okay. I mean that works for me. Because well, I mentioned before, the idea was that he was being called, or does his department call him Chuck or Charles then?
Charles.
Charles. Okay, so
It's formal.
yeah.
But like Francis could call him like little Chucky or like Charlie. Uh, I don't know. So something goofy like that
Yeah.
to tease him.
Okay, I think it worked this time and I don't know why.
Here it is. See it on stream. There he is.
There's our boy.
Charles.
AKA Chuck.
Charles Entertainment Cheese.
Oh my god. Well, I'm here.
There's our boy. So let's just do our other characters real quick.
Okay. I mean, no pressure. The fact
Oh
that
yeah, I know.
I don't know if it's, also maybe it's because we were talking about homoeroticism, but I'm also getting JoJo vibes from him.
I mean, you're not wrong. I do love JoJo too.
I mean, with the stuff we talked about, I'm not surprised. And it's very much the
The
strong
vibe.
jawline.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it just looks like a older, like a alternate universe of like Jotaro just looking like tired of everything.
Jotaro, but he's ginger and also tired and old.
Yeah, we don't talk. Yeah, he managed to survive part 6 instead.
It's like an alternate universe or whatever. I think it's possible. Could happen.
Yeah, because all the other JoJos are way more excited looking.
Yeah.
So he's the only one I could think of.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Okay, now that now that I finally was able to upload it, I don't know why the first one didn't work, but whatever. We're not gonna worry about that.
Yeah.
Um, so we have those first two establishing things, and then like kind of seeing the end of their days where, um, I like in a weird way, or the thing of where it seems like Francis and Jack have like a happy personal life while um do we want to make Chuck an alcoholic?
Mm, I kind of think that's kind of like a typical stereotype with
It
when it
is a
comes to
stereotype, but that
detectives.
I also know I'm playing up to certain tropes you like, so that's why I'm checking first.
Mm, you know what? We can have him be like he used to be like a recovering alcoholic. So instead of ordering alcoholic in like bars, he just like orders like I don't know like orange juice or something. That's his go-to drink or coffee.
uh
Can't don't talk to him until he's drank his coffee. Kind of deal.
okay, so just make it seem like the focus is on being a workaholic and not that he was previously an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can do that. We can do that. But yeah, the whole idea is like the when they return home, Jack and Francis seem happy while Chuck just seems lost in work and just unable to sleep because he's riddled with guilt, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Uh,
so we're gonna start off with them already like met up and stuff.
Met up.
Like
Uh,
they're already like like together, I guess.
oh no. Well, I was saying like this is before Chuck has started invest like putting a watch on Jack and Francis.
Okay.
Unless you want to be further down.
No, well, I think we could just. You know what? I think you could go what feels right as well.
Okay, I mean,
Cause,
hey,
cause for, cause for me, it's just like I don't really mind. I don't really mind the direction this goes, as long as they're happy and they have goofy moments with that tragedy in the background, somewhat.
it was
Where
like
we can look
as
at.
long as they're happy. I'm like, you gave me a prompt where that seems very hard to do.
Yeah, I
Good
mean,
luck.
you played Yakuza games, right? You know
Yeah,
the
I'm
vibe.
just yeah. I know in Yakuza games, but also I know I can't just say sub stories for the whole next like hour and a half.
Oh no, yeah, yeah. We're gonna have to have some main story in there with the sub stories.
Yeah, it's like I can't have a thing where like the police for a sub story, what happens is a police delivery guy keeps running away because he's terrified because he thinks he's getting hunted down by the Francis because he gave him the wrong pizza, but in reality he forgot to tip him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we could also have that in there in between all of like the main story somewhere.
Yes, we can. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying by that.
Yeah, yeah.
But okay. So and then we're establishing that and we can have after seeing a moment in their lives um there could be a thing where oh how about this
Go.
um Chuck has a guy on the inside for in Francis's family, but he gets
Mhm.
offed because he gets caught, kind of a thing.
Mhm.
And instead of finding another person, uh Chuck wants to do it himself even though he's the commissioner.
Mhm. Yeah.
uh, and who's gonna like
So
tell him otherwise?
so he's gonna be the one undercover, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
uh Even and the kind of thing where I don't know if it's necessarily undercover, but he's just trying to get close to them, kind of a thing.
Yeah. I mean, it would be undercover because I don't think uh Chuck would want them to know he's a cop, right?
Yeah, it's just if we've established he's the commissioner, that's where it kind of gets a little messy.
Yeah.
Because if you want, because that's why I was suggesting maybe he's like higher up, but he's not like at the very top. And then when instead of retiring, he becomes the commissioner at the end is why I was suggesting that versus him being. It's the same thing as like I'm pretty sure people in the family would know who the commissioner is. They might not know every single cop, but you know.
Yeah, yeah. That is true. You're right.
Okay, so we'll go with that for now at least. Um, where he like Chuck is very insistent on being like, let me do it, kind of a thing.
Mhm.
Um, you can't risk like he's making all these excuses why no one else can do it. It's like, look, someone just died, kind of a thing. You can't risk it with someone else. You got to have someone with experience, someone who can get in there and find out what's really going on. Do you really want
Mhm.
some like uh, someone green able to keep it all together and lose another
Mhm.
person? I can do it, kind of a thing.
Okay. Does he
Uh,
get denied at first? And
I think he gets denied at first, um, But maybe what happens next is um, they find the body of the person who got killed off, and they see what happened to
Mhm.
him, and then it kind of scares off the a lot of people. And that's when the commissioner's reluctant, but lets him take it because clearly everyone else is shaken up by it.
Okay.
Um, and but the it's kind of tropey, but the commissioner's like, okay, fine, I'll let you do this, but like, remember, I'm letting you do this. You have to like follow, uh,
Don't mess it up. Don't fuck it up.
pretty much, yeah. You got one chance on this case. If you don't, I'm gonna make sure you have an early retirement kind of thing.
Mhm.
Um,
Forced retirement, more like.
yeah. And then what happens next is we go back to, I guess it'd be kind of a flashback kind of a thing where um hmm
Flashback to Jack, maybe,
yeah,
or
because maybe
or
I'm
like maybe
think
the brother dying as a flashback to that.
oh, you want to go back to that.
I mean, that we can start with that.
Okay, okay, cool, we can do that. We'll go back to that moment, and
Mhm.
uh maybe we can do it where kind of like he is, I don't want to say breaking in, but like he's entering the house and the family looks scared kind of a thing.
Mhm.
um and we're seeing the more unhinged chaotic side that we talked about before.
Mhm.
um and
Francis is just like scaring them.
yeah, he's scaring them, and he's kind of like leaning into and kind of like enjoying the fear
Mhm.
before finishing the job. uh
Mhm.
and maybe he basically feels like a horror villain kind of a thing, the way he takes enjoyment out of it. uh
Kind of like when the Joker has moments like that, basically.
I mean, yeah, basically, if uh great, now it's just basically Batman and Joker the way we're doing this.
Oh, that's my favorite. My favorite ship, by the way.
Is it really?
It is, yeah. I mean, I love Batman and Superman, but also Batman and Joker is one of my favorites as well.
Again, this explains why you're so into the toxic relationships.
Yeah.
Who are all these female side characters? Get them out of the way. Get those two
Oh,
together.
oh no, no, no. Hold up. Okay, so the female characters are for me. All
They're for
right.
you.
So like, so
They're for you.
they're for me, and like the boys can be with the boys. That's how it is.
You want to
So
watch
like,
them while you're with the girls.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, fine. Good to know. Um,
Pride Month, by the way. I'm bi.
ooh. Uh, your art has not made. I'm so surprised. What?
Um, I mean, I've got told once that my art looks like I was like a religious girl growing up but didn't want to be. So
Did
no,
you
that was like on the nose, like, oh god, how did he know? Don't look at no.
look? It's just like how some artists they have very specific focuses, so you can kind of like narrow down where their inspiration came from.
Yeah.
Why are their feet drawn so good? Oh no!
Oh god.
Like if we're just talking about that kind of stuff, so I'm just gonna bring it up as an offhand remark. Um, look, it is a lot of my stories about like sad traumas of childhood. Maybe is it related to things that are personal? Don't ask about it because you're gonna find out anyways through the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. This is my therapy.
This
Um,
is how like writers can cope, you know?
I can't afford the therapy, so I'm just gonna be my own.
Mm-hmm.
Just a second. I want to check something.
Cheaper that way. Portable. even.
Unfortunately, because yay, USA, USA.
USA.
Okay, so we're going back to the flashback, and then maybe, hmm, maybe at first the child. Well, I guess I
He
guess
could be
we're
like a baby
yeah, the
ish.
baby ish, but I'm just trying to think. I guess maybe Chuck is using a knife or something. Uh,
He could be using a knife or like,
well, because if it's a gun, the thing is like, how did the baby not start crying sooner?
oh, true. The gun would be like too loud
Well,
to
the
wake the
option is
baby.
maybe he at first, uh, maybe he gets one of the parents, maybe he gets the wife first, and then the baby starts to cry, and then uh, Chuck's brother tries to like get in the way, and he dies also because of it, and then
Hmm.
uh, he just takes a fascination in this child kind of a thing, or maybe the child is crying, but he stops crying when he sees Francis, and Francis gets
Oh,
interested because he's like, "You're the first person who hasn't screamed in front of me. Hmm,
yeah.
you're curious. I want to know more about you," and takes him with him.
Hmm. I'm gonna project all my trauma onto you, child.
I don't think he's worried about that part.
No.
I think he's just having fun.
Hmm. Like, oh boy, free child for
Oh my
me
god. Yes.
that I can raise.
Uh,
And he doesn't know that I live a criminal life.
you. Ooh wee.
Ooh wee.
This is getting darker and darker.
Okay, like we know that, but like if you're telling the story, the perspective is just kind of like lighthearted and goofy, is how I would see it.
You think
You know,
that?
I mean, like you know about like I don't know if you know how much you know about like Splatoon is very dark in terms of story,
Oh
and
yeah.
like it's played off very like nice and friendly. Same with Kirby and stuff like that.
Sure, sure. Well, I'm just like, how long? I guess we're not gonna stay on this flashback for long then.
Probably not. Just enough to tell like the important details.
Okay, sure. Uh, and just a second. Sorry about that. Um,
I'm good.
so we're going just get the details. Maybe it could be a thing where in the flashback, we don't hear the screams and the gunfire, but instead it's played with like music that's probably playing in Francis's head, kind of a thing.
Like some kind of like 80s music or something, some old vintage music, yeah.
Because he's just like playing a song in his head that's like him enjoying himself, and then
Mhm.
maybe it gets that could be a theme later where that's also one of Jack's songs he knows the most because he knows it's his dad's favorite song, kind of a thing.
Mhm.
And it becomes kind of a recurring thing.
What if like ABBA is his favorite song?
Which song is it? Take a chance on me, because that's not what I think of at first.
Yeah, that one. No, no, Dancing Queen, that
Oh,
one.
Dancing Queen. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. I guess that makes more sense. Also, if he's a chaotic bi,
Yeah, like he likes disco, so you know.
you just he's like mouthing the words as like people are pleading for him to stop.
Dancing Queen. It's just like singing along with the song.
The weird the creepiest part is that he's singing it, or he's like um he's saying it like either under his breath or like uh
I mean, you know, he could be maybe he's like mouthing it along but
yeah.
also dancing as well.
Yeah, but the thing I was gonna say that makes it the weirdest part is he's not like wearing headphones at all. It's just all in his head.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that adds to it.
Okay. Um, and then we wrap up the oh, maybe as he's taking Jack away, the the flashback ends, and then we kind of go into their routine for their night actually. Where
Okay.
they have like they just like to dance, like they have a dance party essentially.
Okay. They
um
have like a little like disco
yeah,
thing
exactly.
there. Okay.
um and it it contrasts the music is still playing, but they're having a good enjoying themselves kind of a thing.
Okay. All right.
Meanwhile, um we go back to uh there's only three names, and my brain's like having brain farts every so often. I'm like, who's the what the name? Chuck. Um, or
Charles Entertainment Cheese,
oh my god,
our boy.
yes, Charles Entertainment Cheese. Um, Chuck. Maybe we see that he's also getting he got like a last minute message kind of a thing before
From his brother.
not his brother, but actually the guy in the inside before he died. Uh,
Ah, okay.
and like
Okay.
he's using that clue of like maybe because I was thinking part of the flashback was also the guy he's texting because he realizes the the significance of Jack, but he can't
He can't quite put his finger on like why he's so important to like why is this like like tying like what's the word like yeah I guess like tying to his brother in a way.
yeah, that kind of thing. Um,
Mhm.
and like maybe the guy could only send like a quick message because he knew he was being chased down.
Mhm.
And he does Chuck doesn't let the commissioner or anyone else know about this information. He just knows he needs to follow this lead because he knows that it could lead finally to like closure for him.
Okay.
uh, and as we're going from what's it called, so in those moments, and then huh, should we make it where um not Chuck, or maybe yeah, Chuck. Um, I guess there's two options. Would you want? Because he's old, so I don't know if you would want him to try and join the gang, or if it's more of a thing is like, I'm going to become, I'm going to join the school and become like a teacher and learn more about Jack.
Um.
Because I'm trying to think of like
I'm.
the ways he can get in.
I mean, he can't. I mean, I would see his boss being like, okay, well, don't fuck it up, and also just like don't join their gang. Just undercover it. Good. And like for him, it's just like, okay, well, found out he's this case is tied to this kid. I don't know who this kid is. I see that he goes to this school, so we can go with that. Like he could
Okay.
be like trying to be like a teacher of some sort.
Maybe he's like a PE teacher or something.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because I assume he's like, even though other cops, as they get older and towards retirement, they kind of do desk jobs, but um, maybe also like part of the night routine is that Chuck is still like training because he wants to be able to take down the his brother's killer personally.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we could also just say like he's that, but also like he's always been the type of person to stick with his routine, which means like healthy habits. Like, oh yeah, he's always going to work out every day.
Yeah,
But especially more so with his brother's death.
yeah. Well, that's the motivator.
Mhm.
Um, maybe he tells other people It's like, look, yeah, I know that was like couple years ago, kind of a thing, and like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
my brother got tied in with those kind of things, and that happens. It's it, and him trying to like deflect, but even though, even for most people, they can kind of see it like, yeah, it bothers him, but he tells himself otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, maybe he's a coach at the school, kind of a thing. Um,
PE coach.
PE coach. And then also maybe this is maybe he starts to notice how the other kids, maybe for the most part, the kids leave Jack alone. Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that like they would like Francis would register Jack as their last name? I think he would. Would he?
He's
'Cause-
unhinged, so yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think he's
So
trying to
then
hide it.
so then that would make the kids obviously like scared, like, oh, he's the son of like this big gang, he bad gang, you know? Or like my parents told me not to talk to this kid.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe everyone's like off put by him because we also talked about like the birthday party situation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe yeah, the kids are all like, maybe the other kids don't know why, but they know to leave Jack alone, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Well, well, we can go with like their parents just told them like don't hang out around with that family
yeah.
kid.
Well, I think the hmm, I guess the only reason I'm like don't hang around the kid, but also like they also say like don't even talk to him because well, they don't want to risk upsetting him and then like knowing that could like go back to the whole family, kind of a thing.
They can just be like fake nice,
Yeah,
if anything.
maybe yeah, they just treat him as like, look, you know he's different, just don't talk to him, kind of a thing.
Don't bully him. Don't say anything mean. Just be nice.
Yeah, but he's all
Don't be
alone,
close
kind
to
of a
him.
thing.
Yeah, like he has no friends, unfortunately.
Yeah, and then maybe that builds up to the whole thing of maybe that why not for uh them what's it called, Chuck having a chance to get closer also to Francis, because Chuck helps Jack um be, I don't want to say more popular, but people more accepting of him, because then they see like, oh, he can do this or that, or like help him stand out in a positive way, or just
Helps him get a
be,
friend.
yeah, and be more confident, kind
Yeah.
of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
um
That's sweet. That's sweet.
and because of that, Jack it becomes more excited, and like this is a thing that uh Francis notices, and he actually wants to like personally like thank Chuck for that, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And
Uh,
since Chuck is like the gonna be the P teacher, he could
mhm.
like have like not really force the his classmates to interact with him, but just like have them do activities where like they realize like, oh wow, like they think like Jack's okay. He's a cool kid.
Yeah. Maybe it's a thing where it's like they have to be in like teams or partner up, kind of a thing, and then like at first it's like him trying to like talk to Jack and give him like reassurance, but also like later we see that he also got tips on how to play the sport, kind of a thing, and people are surprised by it.
And like, what if like Jack wins like his team, and like they all think he's cool, and like he won the team. He's like just that'd be sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely something like that where um even if we want to get even more cheesy, they do the thing where they lift him up, kind of like, and cheer.
I mean that if anything, we could have that be like a tournament for like between schools or something like that kind of like cliche.
So okay,
Yeah, give the kids a reason to like root him for, you know.
sure. I'm just thinking of like what sport when you're 10 years old is there a tournament for?
Basketball.
I guess so.
Yeah,
Well, it's best.
volleyball,
Well, I think it's either, well, if we're doing like teams, or I was either gonna think basketball or like
Baseball?
baseball. Those are the two really, because you're not gonna. Tennis doesn't quite work, and then like you can't really do football unless it's like flag
Mm.
football, and even then that doesn't seem the same.
No, I think we can go with baseball actually.
Okay.
That's a good one to go for.
Do we want? Okay, question then. Do we want Francis's weapon of choice to be a bat then?
Yeah, like a nail bat
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure.
That
Uh.
also kind of fits with like his whole like crazy chaoticness as well.
Yep. Definitely don't know what you're talking about. Having a chaotic character have a bat in their design. You definitely haven't seen anything like that from me. Everyone will find out eventually. I don't know when because I have other things to debut first.
Oh yeah, right.
I was like, "Do you remember?" Okay, you
I
laughed.
do, but I don't know if I should say on stream.
Say limited amounts because my other friend who was on the show said more than they should have because I was like, I haven't even posted the ref sheet yet.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah, don't worry.
Um, like I haven't even shown people what my chibi is because that's kind of a thing.
Oh, you're working on it.
Yeah. Well, it's just more of a I want it to be a thing tied in with my debut. Like I'm okay
Mhm.
with saying I have a chibi. The significance of my chibi you'll find out for my debut.
Mhm.
Um. Anyways, so yeah, I guess we're
Like on the bright
basically.
side.
Hmm?
Oh, sorry. Like
Not
on the
really.
bright side, doing this is gonna help you like write for that character as well. So, or like
Yeah, yeah.
chaoticness.
Just having bursts of like what the hell is going on kind of thing. Yeah.
Mhm. All right, but let's continue.
Yeah. Sorry. Um. So what? Okay. So then I guess the outline we're kind of building is um Chuck is getting closer to Francis through Jack by helping him succeed in sports um while crime is happening in the background, and then the tension between Chuck and Francis is getting more escalated where how about I was thinking at first it's like Chuck or Francis is wanting to thank Chuck personally for all the help
Mhm.
because he's like, look, I want to show you how much I appreciate you've been helping my son out here, kind of a thing. And at first, maybe
Like he's just like he's been coming home really happy, and it's just like I don't know. He said he's having friends. He never had a friend, so that's I don't know what you're doing, but it's
mhm,
good.
exactly. And then at first, I guess Chuck is trying to play it like the slow roll kind of a thing of like, oh no, don't worry about a thing, just doing my job. Jack's a good kid, kind of a thing. Um,
Mhm.
and but the thing is though, Francis being Francis, he becomes more pushy of like, no, come on, I want to take you out for dinner. I want to say thank you. I want to show you a good time or something, something
Good
like
for
that.
them. Good for them.
It's my month, baby. Um, and you know, at first it's like very formal, but then they start to loosen up, kind of a thing, as the year goes on.
Mhm.
Okay, now I'm thinking Persona.
I
Uh,
mean, that's not too bad either.
just hit all of the check marks. We then go into they're loosening up, and
We're
maybe
getting closer
they're getting
and stuff.
closer. Oh, and then maybe since we kind of talked about the alcohol thing, um, he also is kind of relapsing because he's loosening up.
Mhm.
And with
Oh.
him getting drunk, he's also losing his inhibitions, kind of a thing.
Mhm.
Uh,
What if he slips up one day and she's like, "Oh yeah, I got my job to do," and like Francis is like, "What? Oh yeah, what? Thought you were just a PE teacher." Like something suspicious, like he just finds out or something.
well, one of the ideas was they they want to go somewhere more private, but
Mhm.
they they don't want to make it weird for Jack. So
Mhm.
go, but because Chuck is so drunk, he doesn't think about it and just invites him over to his place, and then Francis can see the stuff he has.
Oh no. He can see the cop things.
Yeah. Oh, and then maybe we get into a thing of Chuck waking up with a hangover and then him trying to move, and then he's handcuffed, and then you're like,
He
yes,
wakes up to Francis next to him.
yeah.
Ah, good for them.
Well,
Good for
uh,
them.
oh my god. Well, yeah, I was thinking like he's handcuffed to the bed or something. Um, and the whole idea is, and then maybe this is the turning point kind of a thing.
Mhm.
Uh,
The turning point in terms of like Francis knows what he works for.
yeah. Or would we wanted to think where Francis always had his suspicions?
I think it would make more sense that he had his suspicions.
Yeah, I would assume so, but also I don't. It could be a thing where because he's Francis, he didn't bother to look into those things,
Mhm.
or he's like, I don't care. He's like he's making my son happy. That's what matters.
Yeah. Yeah. And also like I can see him just like making jokes about that before he finds out like for real. It's just like, "Oh, wow, you're kind of a narc, aren't you?"
Um,
Stuff like that.
just very on the nose.
It's
I mean, sure.
just like, "Oh, wow, you sure are like a cop." Haha, just joking. Slash J slash J slash
Oh my god. Uh, it's like, oh, I'd hate for you to betray my trust. Really hate that kind of
Oh
thing.
man. Oh man, I'd hate for you to cuff me up, huh? Although that I'm into that kinky stuff, you know?
Unless.
Haha, JK, unless.
Oh my god.
Oh my god,
Uh,
this bitch is gay. Good for them.
on Pride Month, okay.
Yeah.
Um, so and yeah, so he are we going to do the thing where Francis seems like mad at him, kind of a thing, or like I trusted you, or of like he's unhinged, kind of a thing of like
Nah, I think he'd feel like his trust is betrayed.
okay, so so maybe Jack has like he's not as
Cause,
chaotic as he when he was younger is what we're going for.
yeah, cause like as the time goes on, they get closer. Maybe he even catches feelings himself. So it's just like, despite him making jokes that Chuck could be a cop, he's had like he placed his faith on him. Like, oh well, I'm just pulling his leg. He's not probably one. He's just a regular PE teacher that makes my son happy. You know.
Okay. Okay, well, and all right. So if we're going to go this far into it, are we going to do a thing where he's betrayed, but also he still loves him, kind of a thing, so he can't just off him, or
Mm,
are we doing a thing where he Chuck gets nearly saved before Francis can do something drastic?
um. I mean, I think it'd be more like he tries to like not hurt him, but also trying to keep like the family image as well. So it's just like maybe he covers something up. You know. I don't know. I'm not sure. Or
Okay,
maybe
yes,
he
guided.
I mean maybe he's just like, okay, well, you know, you found out I killed your brother, and I well, you can just cuff me up and lock me behind bars, you know. Like no, like finding out all that is just like, okay, you know what, I caught feelings for you, I'm not gonna make your job difficult, but please don't like make Jack unhappy if you're gonna, you know, take him in.
Okay, so but cause, okay, just double checking. In the scenario I was talking about, Chuck was the
Hmm.
one handcuffed. So
Oh.
so and then Francis was the one with the power. Because remember, he was drunk the night when he brought him
Oh,
over.
okay. Mhm.
And then while he was passed out or something, or they finished.
Good for them. Mhm. Go on.
Don't worry. Steph is also drawing that later, but that's on the Patreon.
For real. You're right. My Patreon's Patreon/SVR. Plugging in.
Look, if some people actually sign up for your Patreon, I want to cut because of this.
I'd laugh if somebody actually does.
Look, it's VTubers. They might.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, and you do good art, so I wouldn't be surprised. I'll put it that way. Anyways,
Okay, because you know what? Like he feels his trust is betrayed,
yeah,
and maybe he gives the impression that he's gonna do something drastic.
yeah.
Like he's just like having a moment of like, oh well, this guy is a cop and I'm a criminal. Yada yada.
Well, because the way I'm kind of imagining it right now is maybe he's ready to, but then he gets a call from Jack of like, where are you? I haven't, you're always like sometimes you disappear, but like you're usually here in the next, in the morning to like take care, like
Mm.
how am I supposed to get to school kind of a thing. And in that moment, that's also when Francis is trying to reassure him kind of a thing, and also he can't quite get rid of Chuck just yet because he realizes how much Chuck not only makes Jack happy but also him happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay.
Good for them.
There is all right. So I'm just gonna remember later after I upload any of the drawings you do. I'm just gonna have the caption "Good for them."
Good for them. Good for them.
Uh, okay. So yeah, and instead he kind of like and maybe it's the thing where Francis like eventually gets off the phone with uh Jack, and he's like basically like, listen, Chuck, um, I would love nothing, or maybe that's too strong. I I could end you right now, kind of a thing. But
So romantic.
oh my god, I could ruin you. Um, uh, I could end you right now, but uh, Jack's championship game is coming up, and you need to make sure he wins.
Oh my god. Okay, now I see where you're going. Like the stakes are high because he
Uh,
wants Jack to be happy, but it's also threatening him.
yeah. Well, I was just
Okay.
thinking the thing is like uh you've already hurt me. If you hurt my son, I'll do more than just hurt you, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's kind of building up to the drama of the final game, kind of a thing. I guess I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Um, it's a little more goofy, but also like, look, we're trying to mix in maybe a little bit of the sub stories into the main plot.
Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with that.
Or you're playing as Jack and you have to do the mini game.
Do the baseball mini game.
The baseball mini game where half of it is out of your control because it's all you do is the batting.
Yeah.
Uh,
He hits a home run, then he wins the game.
uh, and then, oh my god, how cheesy we were good because maybe they're like cheering, and there's the tension, but then also they kiss in
Aw.
celebration.
Aw.
But that's also
Good
what,
for them.
but that's also when everyone sees it, and then sh- everything hits the fan.
Oh yeah. I mean, would you say in the like they saw them together and then like it's just like, oh no, he's the well-known second in command is with the mafia guy, or
Well, I feel like there's a lot is going to be happening because
yeah.
both sides.
Mhm.
Because then, for one thing, uh, his boss is probably like, "You're doing what?"
You did what?
Yeah. Um,
Chick's just like it was just part of the job, but no.
there were no
I mean,
feelings, I promise. Can I also expense out all these condoms we've got? Um, uh, so dumb. But then it's just that escalation thing, and then like him probably, I guess technically, uh, is it is a conflict of interest if a parent's dating a coach?
uh, I
I
wouldn't say so. No.
I guess technically not, because technically your parent could be a teacher at your school. So
Yeah.
okay. Um, but maybe there's just more drama circulating because um maybe that like rumors start to happen where they're like, oh my god, maybe that's why Jack was able to like be in all the sports things because like nepotism kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, and then maybe for Francis, the things are kind of like the order in his family are starting to fall apart a little because he's been so focused with Jack and Chuck.
Yeah. Like they're kind of just like lost and like what to do.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Sorry, I'm also checking the time because I think
We've been mostly just setting up,
we've been
which is good.
setting. Yeah,
I like it though. I like what we have. It's good.
yeah. Because also be quite honest, the if I tried to go into detail for every scenario, I think it'd go over the time I have available.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because just for everyone's now just knows I probably have like a little over 30 minutes left before I gotta get going.
Mhm.
But I still want to
Gotcha.
try and like wrap up the overall plot, and then if you want, you can be a returning guest, and we could I could
Continue the series.
continue the series, or I acted out what we have so far, kind of a thing, or
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
something else. It's up to you. Just if you're
Oh no,
enjoying it,
I am enjoying it. This is very very fun.
yeah. I just want to make sure we get to a good stopping point, kind of a thing, before I have to go.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so and this is where everything's kind of falling apart for, I guess, all three of them in a sense.
Mhm.
Because maybe all the people that were his friends now are also now like looking at him kind of a like um oh, so your dad just more or less bribed, or that's
Bribe
why
the
kind of.
police.
Oh, I was just saying the coach,
Oh, the coach.
Chuck. So
Mhm.
kind of a thing, and everyone starts to like distance themselves again, kind of a thing, or maybe people start talking about like, oh, I was just being nice to you because because of your dad, or because
Because
I'm
my
just.
mom said that I have to be nice to you because your dad is a criminal or something.
Yeah. And then maybe the Jack starts to like confront his dad and stuff.
Okay. Okay.
And then get into the drama of that. So maybe it's hmm.
Maybe it's just like, you know what? We can have like a scenario where like Jack finds out he's not happy with it. Like makes an attempt to run away.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say he runs away. Maybe for Charles, uh, he gets let go or something, or he's like, no, you're too far in. I'm not gonna risk anything else. Um,
Mhm.
like this, I knew this was a mistake, kind of a thing.
Mhm.
Um, but maybe Chuck still tries to be the coach, even though he's been told he's off the case, kind of a thing. And uh,
Or maybe he just doesn't. Maybe he just is depressed in his apartment, like a sad old man.
you want that?
Yeah. I mean, once like they find out, it's just like, why is he back there? Jack's not even there. Like, there's for him, I guess there's like no point, you know.
Uh, well, I was thinking maybe he's still like, even though he got let go, I was thinking like he was still trying to like get closer or in there, kind of a thing. Because I
Mhm.
don't know if we've established that Chuck has found out yet about Francis.
Oh, right. That's
Um,
true.
unless we want to go with or but maybe he like Chuck starts to hear uh about things of like rumors in the school also about like Jack isn't even his Francis's son, kind of a thing.
And maybe like even Jack himself has like made some like comments or something that like gave him the impression it's just like I don't think that's his son, you know.
Yeah, or just like um maybe there's a
Kids
hmm?
well, it could be like, oh, the kids always say that I don't look like my dad, and I don't know who my mom is. He never tells me stuff like
Yeah.
that.
And maybe there's also that like yeah, and then Chuck can kind of like piece it together, kind of a thing.
Mhm.
Maybe he doesn't know for sure, but he's just like, this is the like, maybe this is the thing that the other guy wanted me to know.
Do you think Chuck would go as far as to like take a DNA sample to find out, or
Um, like poke both of them, like, and then take those samples later.
like take just a hair strand or
Oh,
something?
the hair
Yeah.
strand. Okay, maybe that.
Mhm.
Okay, I think I thought
No, not poking them.
he
No.
grabbed like blood sample. I was like, I don't know where he got that, but okay.
I think it's more like it makes sense if it's just like hair strands or something.
Yeah, it could be hair,
Or maybe like Francis like a smoke cigarette off of him or something.
or maybe that's why he had to sleep with them to get that sample.
Oh yeah, that would also give another reason for that too.
I don't think that's okay. But you know, I can barely speak. Um, Fujoshi's rise up.
Rise up, my fellow comrades.
It's your month.
It is Pride Month. Rise up.
Oh
All
my
right.
god. But yeah, so maybe, so yeah, maybe he at this point, before he knows he's probably going to be let go, or at least not have access to things. Maybe he does do the DNA sample, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Um, and then Francis is trying to like bring back order, but then also, like you said, Jack runs away or something and disappears.
Yeah.
And as much as he doesn't want to get back involved with Chuck, he also knows Chuck is probably the person who he'd confide in besides him, Francis.
Mhm.
Uh, so there's this tension as they work together because they both still care about him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just got to check something real quick.
Oh good.
Okay, yeah. I don't know how much further we want to get because I don't know how much we want to escalate it. If I'm being honest.
I mean, we could start with what we have so far. I think it's pretty solid.
Okay. Um, we can end it a little early if you don't mind, or if there's more you
Oh
want to
yeah.
like focus on, because I just don't want it to be like a too much of a cliffhanger.
Oh no, it's fine. If you want to end it early, I'm fine with that.
Okay. I don't mind that. I just want to make sure if there's other things you want to like talk about or like discuss before, just so uh it can be resolved now rather than having it be brought up later when we could have talked about it now.
I have to be honest, I can't think of anything.
Okay. Um. Okay. So yeah, I just want to risk it. if,
Oh no, I understand.
I appreciate that. But also we talked for over 2 hours, and I think that's a good amount. Also.
Yeah. I will definitely want to like look back on this VOD and be like, okay, I'm gonna keep trying these characters whenever I have time.
Okay. Well, when you upload or give them to me or tag me in them, so then I can also retweet them.
I will.
Perfect. Okay. Is there anything you want to say to my chat before we go? And also, since you're my guest, I wanted to ask if there's someone you wanted me to raid.
Um, uh, I mean, not anyone I know is streaming, so I think you can pick. But
Okay.
I hope your chat enjoyed the little story. It is Pride Month. This is also for Joshis that love sad old men with a little bit of tragedy and a little bit of a comedy in there. You know what they say, like life is a tragedy and the comedy or whatever. I don't know.
I I kind of know what you're talking about, but I also don't want to misquote it. Also, so
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. All right.
yes.
Okay. So I hope that was fun. I had a lot of fun. I
I had
enjoyed
fun
myself.
too, even though it was a lot of me going, okay, let's do this. But yeah, it sounds like you want to revisit again, and I'd be down to sometime.
Hold on,
Um,
I just finished Francis.
okay,
Or
well,
actually just speedily finished it. But here. Yeah. Before I end the stream,
yes,
we got Chuck and Francis. And then I'll figure out Jack later. But let me turn this
because we
TV on.
talked about JoJo, I'm just thinking about Jack. He's 193 centimeters. As a 10-year
Well,
old.
I mean he could be.
Oh, he looks like a scumbag.
Yeah. I was thinking like, okay, let's give him the eyes of like a scumbag and then go from there.
Well, perfect. Francis. All right, let me add this in. Image. Francis.
I'll polish these up and then when I do, I'll upload them. Or I'll show them to you and then upload them on Twitter.
Okay. I mean, yeah, whichever you want to do.
There he is, Francis.
We'll put him in the other corner. Star-crossed lovers.
Look at them. We got some sleazy looking bastard and
Oh,
some JoJo guy.
yep. Let me try and. Mwah. Okay, I made them kiss because it's Pride Month.
It is Pride Month, yes.
Okay. So let me see who's available, and thank you again, for being a guest. I had a lot of fun.
I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun too. And I'm looking forward to it next time.
Yes. Cause yeah, we'll figure it out another time. Okay. So I'm gonna raid Sune. She was someone who helped me reach affiliate, so I want to give
Yeah.
the love back.
Congrats, by the way.
Thank you. I am slowly trying to scramble to put everything together so
I
people have a
understand.
reason to subscribe. Okay, so I'm gonna hit raid, and if there's nothing else, I hope everyone has a good rest of their Friday night and a good rest of your week. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Take care. All right, and then just let it take a few moments to load in to start the raid.
Ooh, raid.
Yeah. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye bye.
All right, and then stop streaming and